My name's Huck. This is Amelia. That is
Eris.
And we all have, unfortunately, some bad ideas.
You didn't say roll the intro.
Wait, it doesn't matter now. Just do it. Okay.
I think that's
I
sufficient.
think that's a sufficient intro, guys. Proud of us. We're better at this, right?
I think that was worse than last time. Anyways.
All right, yeah.
What's your
What's
bad
your bad
idea?
idea, Eris?
Booktok and anti-intellectualism.
Oh, I love
Okay.
Booktok. I love Booktok.
Me too. Sometimes.
I love
It
Booktok.
depends.
Booktalk's so funny. I don't even have TikTok.
I know, I don't either.
Yeah. I'm on Bookstagram.
Yeah,
So am I.
exactly.
I'm also on Bookstagram.
What's the current Bookstagram books?
Haunting Adeline, my goat. No, I'm joking. I fell down a rabbit hole a little while ago of Brandon Sanderson.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic writing, I think. I'm a firm believer that strong world building is better than weak world building.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like that's
Revolutionary.
wow.
Like hard world building versus soft world building, if that makes sense.
Like you want like the details.
I'm a hater of when they're just like, yeah, it works because it works.
Okay, that's why I wasn't a big fan of Kindred. I felt like it was just like there was a lot of like repetitive. There was just too much
It kind of works, but not really. That's why I have beef with Harry Potter.
You have beef with Harry Potter.
I can't read series. I can't do series.
Really?
Like I don't know. I read the first 3 books of Harry Potter, gave up. The first of Percy Jackson, gave up. Which I thought it was a good book. I just can't do series. I think I read the first Hunger Games, gave up.
Oh, good. The second and third Hunger Games don't deserve the light of day. I believe this. I think that was a commercialism thing, and the first one was a good, it was a good story. It made sense, and I don't think everything needs to have the good guys win.
That's what you didn't like about Hunger Games?
Nah, that's what I didn't like about the second and third Hunger Games, is that they made it into good guys win instead of just being like, yeah, it sucked. They moved on with their life, yeah.
Whatever.
I've only watched the movie, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous that the two of them lived at the end.
I agree with that take.
Yeah, they didn't. No.
I just
I agree with
rewatched
that
it. I
take.
literally finished rewatching it yesterday.
Really?
That's so funny.
I think one of them should have died.
Yeah.
Preferably
And also,
PETA. I'm a PETA hater.
Okay, I'm mad that they killed Finnick.
Who was that?
He was
He was the Trident dude who was getting prostituted.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't remember.
That was the whole thing, is that the former victors were getting prostituted in the second and third books. And that was one of the big grievances.
That's not in the movies.
I'm pretty sure it is. How they
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a big thing where the
Do you
people in
just
the
mean
Capitol.
them having I think I do know what you're talking
People in the Capitol, they were being
comfortable.
I'm sorry, I
back
stepped
there.
on something.
I don't know what's back there. It's fine.
they were being prostituted, and that was because of the culture around the Capitol and excess and stuff.
I just know that they were obviously being used for
Their literary
crazy
analysis
things, but-
skills apparently are not very
Okay, I
strong.
didn't read the books. I only read the first one, and I don't remember it. It was a few years ago. Well, you literally said it was a good thing that I didn't read the second and third books. So
Yeah, I don't think they're very good.
Okay. Well,
I read them, and then I read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and then I read what's the new one called?
the Reaping.
Sunrise on the
Oh, yes.
Reaping.
Yeah.
I read half of Sunrise on the Reaping. It was this not finishing. this.
Everybody was saying it's really good, though.
I didn't
I'm
like it.
excited for the movie, but again, I don't. I guess it's not a series. If it's is it tie-in with Songbird of whatever Snakes?
No, I mean, so this is my thing about what defines a series too, is it's not necessarily in chronological order. There's a central theme similar to Brandon Sanderson with the Cosmere. Just because they are set in the same world doesn't necessarily mean
they're
that it's,
part of the same storyline.
a series.
Yeah. Because there's not that much time. Oh, well, I guess it's about Haymitch.
Yeah, would you say that Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts are one series?
No, they're
Yeah,
two separate series.
they're set in the same
I
universe.
love Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts is better. I have problems with her world building.
I should rewatch
Really?
it.
Yeah, I do. I do have problems with their world building because I think she's just like, it works this way because it does. And we're not going to question any of this.
It's almost like it's a fantasy book or something.
Yeah, but you can write a fantasy
magic
book.
and shit.
You can write a fantasy book and be consistent.
Well, like Lord of the Rings and like The Hobbit and stuff, like those are so
That's
well
high fantasy.
done.
So there are different
Yeah.
branches of fantasy.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's where you get really intricate story building.
Yeah. Harry Potter is like the lowest of low fantasy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, with most people that I know, and when I read the first 3 books, that was like 5th grade. Like, it's not.
Yeah, it was
it's not
written
in
for
depth. Yeah,
children.
but like,
Books written for children can still be consistent. Thank you very much.
well, I'm just saying it's not as like not detailed, but I don't know, as intricate.
I feel like there's so many better ways that we could have gone about all of the things in the book.
Okay, give me one example. Like, what's the worst part of Harry Potter?
Voldemort. Okay. Voldemort was like, all right, there is this child, and I've been
Right.
very explicitly told that I need to kill this child. And after realizing that I can't use magic to kill this child because he has a magical protection, he never thought of maybe like dropping the child from out the window. It's a baby. There are many ways you can kill a baby if you really wanted
Wait,
to
I
do
don't
so.
think that's how it went
Crazy.
down. No, because
Well, wasn't like the whole thing that like he couldn't kill him because he was part of his soul.
No, that was an accident thing. That was the whole accidental 7th Horcrux. Voldemort wanted to only make 6, accidentally made 7 because when Lily did her whole protection charm thing,
yeah.
Yeah.
severed him. Like, there's so much
yeah, I thought
easier
that's
ways
what
to
it
go about this.
Again,
Tell us how would you kill a child?
Yep.
Yeah.
Explain to them how you would kill me.
Very simple, I feel. You ever heard of a 3rd story window? Even a 2nd story window will probably be enough.
Babies freak me out because they don't have like they don't have like part of their skull or something weird. And like, have you seen the X-rays of like their jaws are like freaky and like.
And can't you like mold their heads? Like,
Yeah, you can do
like
that.
if they lay on their back for too long, that's scary.
I have to wear like special helmets sometimes. Like, what the heck? Like, just grow a skull. Like,
It's not that hard. Just grow a
Well,
skull.
there's the thing about how babies don't have kneecaps, so they like.
I don't like that.
Yeah, babies don't have
I don't
kneecaps.
like
It's just
that.
fleshy cartilage on the underside of their knees, so that they like can fall on their knees and not take as much damage. Like when they're crawling around, their kneecaps haven't formed, so it doesn't hurt them as much as it would hurt
that.
someone with kneecaps to like crawl around.
So then
or
why
before.
do we develop kneecaps at all?
Because if I take a thing and whack a baby in the knee, the baby's leg is gonna be just gone. But if I whack you in the knee, you'll probably be fine. I mean, it'll hurt.
I don't like this.
But like,
I don't. I'm just like my knees are
We're
uncomfortable.
supposed to be talking about book talk.
Anyway.
Baby kneecaps.
I think book talk's great. I'm pro book talk. I like book talk.
Well, if a lot of people get so angry that like a lot of the books on like that become popular through social media are like not like intellectual enough or whatever. But I also, first of all, I don't think that matters. Like reading is not just for like the it's not purposeful just to be like, oh, let me learn something from this. Like sometimes it is just for pleasure, and I feel like people get all angry about how simple.
I feel like I've been recommended a lot of like really complex books from off of Book Talk.
Well, that's
or
what
not
I'm
necessarily
saying.
like just. I guess not like classic Book Talk. But like that's when I read The Wealth of Nations. Was because someone on Instagram told me about it. I read like. I read Mein Kampf because someone on Instagram told me about it. That was a weird book.
Well, I
Don't
feel like
recommend.
everybody that like or like everybody that's against book talk has the argument that I just said. I'm not saying that's true. There are really good in-depth books on book talk. But I'm just saying that's like always the argument that I hear like for against it, which I disagree.
I mean, I do think that there are definitely some Book Talk books that do not at all deserve to be like considered such great literary masterpieces.
I hate Colleen Hoover. Sorry.
I've only read one of her books, and it was in like 8th grade.
I don't think I've read it.
I will not be touching that.
But like I will admit, I read Fourth Wing, We were talking about
Oh
this a
yeah.
little while ago.
I've only read the first book though.
I
I've
read
not
Fourth
read the
Wing,
rest of
and
the
then I read
series.
half of
Was it
Iron
bad?
Flame. It's not that good.
It's not. It's just not like.
I have the same world building problems as I do with Harry Potter, where like I don't think that like it's as thought out as it could be. I think that it just kind of is. You
I don't know. I'm not a bit. I don't really read fantasy. I don't care for fantasy generally.
I read a lot.
That's the critique that a lot of people make, is that the books that are getting really popular today are just not as well thought out as books that were published like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
You know?
like they're more of like an act of like consumerism.
Yeah, like
there's truth to
Booktok
that.
is literally changing the industry. Like people say they're finding literal typos so much more in books now.
I think there's truth to that.
Well, because like think about it. Like for example, Colleen Hoover. It's just book after book after book, and there's no real consideration, right? So I
But I
could
think
see
you can
that.
still do that and have, the intentionality behind it. I think that like, I mean, some of like
Oh my god, it's Dane and Lucas. Sorry. Should I yell at them?
Yeah, wait, roll down your window. Roll down your window.
okay.
Dane!
No, roll up the window. Don't acknowledge his existence.
It was just a part of the video like this now.
no.
Are they just
Oh,
gonna
they're-
leave?
they're
coming
backing up.
back as we're filming.
Don't acknowledge their existence. They don't exist.
Anyways, well, okay, real quick about
Sorry.
that thing. This goes back to what you were saying about not liking
They're
live
confused.
music because you think music is like intended for some more, some other purpose, right? Like you were arguing that's why you didn't like live music, but I feel like you're kind of saying the opposite now with like books and intentionality.
Well, I think there needs to be a kind of intention behind it. If it's meant to be like in a certain form.
Say hi to the
Dane.
podcast.
Hi, Dane.
Say hi to the podcast.
And we got Dane.
You guys are on the pod.
I know.
I don't want to lift up the
What
camera.
is
don't
this,
lift it.
episode 2?
Yeah, I think.
Two.
Is it
Yep.
two? Yes.
Way to count.
Thanks,
What are you all
Dane.
talking about?
Books and book
Bugs, I
talk.
love bugs.
No, books. Yeah.
Bye, Dan.
I got some books on me. I got some books on me, guys.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
They're recording right now.
Yeah. Just a chunk of the video will just be.
That's okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hi, Dan. We're gonna get Dan on here. Don't worry. I'm excited for Dane's.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited for
That's gonna
Dane's
be
idea.
awesome.
I'm actually scared for some of what people will say for ideas because we don't know them beforehand.
This is true.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were talking about today, so.
So apologies if I blew out your mic. Kind of yelled right into it. So.
Fine. It'll be fine.
It's okay. There's just gonna be like 5 minutes where everybody's just like really whatever. But anyways, what I was
Okay.
saying was with the live music thing, your argument for live music was about like intentionality, like the intention of that it's not intended to be played live, it's intended to be listened to through something like Spotify. But I think what you're saying about the books, there is a variety of like intentions and intentionality about what is written and put out there. And so I feel like, I don't know, just disputing like what you were saying about live music.
I mean, I think there could be multiple different reasons as to why someone would write something, but I think that there's a problem with Booktok books where there is no intentionality behind writing. It's purely for consumerism, right? And I have kind of the same problem with music, in that I think a lot of music isn't good because it's written to, I think there's so many songs that are just boring, designed to, go viral or whatever.
Well, yeah, but you're using that for your argument against live music. But it's the same thing with books. If you find the right book, like there are books out there, and there is music out there that would, be good as live music. And there's books out there that you actually want to read that have been popularized by
Sure, I think so.
whatever. Yeah.
But I think the difference is like how it's meant to be conveyed. Because I think a lot of books are meant to convey certain ideas, and even if you don't necessarily take those ideas away from it, it's still meant to like be written. Like the same reason that I think that if you're going to do a play, you have to watch the play as opposed to reading it. I think that like the intended medium is performative. Same with like a movie. Reading the movie script is a completely different experience from watching a movie. That's another reason why I think watching dubbed, like things dubbed, is such a detraction from it.
If I watch something in another language, I just do like captions and I leave it in its original language because I agree, like it changes something. But then also, yeah, it's like the like audience's own perspective changes a lot of it too.
Yeah, of course,
so.
of course, the audience is going to take
Well,
a different
yeah.
interpretation. Once you create something, it's not yours anymore. It can be, it's now been put out into the world for other people to take, interpret, and do with as they will. But I think that when you're creating something without any, reason for creating it, it's solely, profit driven. I think that takes. Literature is supposed to be a creative expression. Same with art, same with music, same with, film. That I think that when it's become commercialized, it becomes such a detriment.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get I was talking to Lucas about this the other day. We don't get any of the classic true dumb comedies anymore, like Spaceballs or
I love Spaceballs. Sorry.
or Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber is
They're just like Bill and Ted. Those movies were just. Man,
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
We're watching Bill and Ted.
I will watch
love
Bill and Ted with you.
Good.
Bill and Ted, Scott Pilgrim.
I'm gonna drive to your house one day and make you watch that movie.
It is
just gonna
such
show
a
up
good
one day.
movie.
We're gonna
Why are
pull
you
up.
at my
watch
house?
it.
The two of us are gonna pull up together and make you watch Bill and Ted.
We will. I want to rewatch it, so we should do that. Oh,
But I think that those movies were just designed as a creative expression. They're meant to just be funny. It's not, oh, we're gonna we have to worry about box office sales or the Rotten Tomatoes critics and all of that. I think just as if the movie is it's a creative expression. I think that's part of the problem.
Will you hand me the book that's in that back?
Which pocket?
Is it the aesthetics book?
Yeah.
No.
You're saying something that is exactly in this book that he was. As soon as I brought it out, he was like, "Oh, I don't want to touch that. I don't whatever." He's saying something
I'm a
that
hater of
sounds word for
aestheticism.
word for what
Aestheticism.
something I would have just read.
Aestheticism.
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 Okay, it talks about art's reflection of reality. I have that marked right here. Art's reflection of reality. Also, not having art for consumerism's purpose. Great book, by the way. Anyways, it's literally it. This is word for word what you're saying. I just wanted to pull it out because he's against this. So,
I think aestheticism and that's part of the problem is that it has to be a high budget production. It has to be well produced, everything.
yeah.
And some of the best movies are really low budget. Saw is now one of the biggest franchises in the world, and originally was just two guys who barely had the budget to rent a single room.
Well, because it's just okay. That's the importance of these kind of things when it comes to literature or media or art or any of these kind of things. I believe that the best versions of that is just how you're saying, just those things are just having fun. They're just a creative expression. It's not. There's no intentionality of consumerism behind a lot of these things that we used to get, I guess. And I think that's what's so important, and that's why I brought this out, is because it's also philosophy. It's a reflection of the human soul. There's nothing beyond that. It's just a creator creating something that is them, a part of that.
Do you think we owe this in some way to Booktok? Booktok has caused authors to just write books without intentionality and all for the money.
I think it's also just the growth in consumerism, because it's not just Booktok. We're seeing same with movies and TV adaptations. It's Disney remaking all of their classics in order to profit off of them, or
I have a lot of opinions about that.
Yeah, me too.
we're just trying to find things that are so profit driven. TV shows that are incomplete, the full creative expression hasn't really been done, have been cut because of ratings or because of whatever.
Or when a TV show doesn't have not a thought out storyline, but it's just it's clear that there was no intention of this, there's no intentionality of this actually going anywhere, and then you kind of start losing plots of things. And
yeah, I get that. I think that that's part of the problem, is that there's a lack of intention with stuff.
And like that goes back to books, is that it's clear some authors, they didn't have like a set idea in mind. They just sat down and they're like, I'm gonna write and I'm gonna publish this and it's gonna be for money. And there was no like, I mean, if you hear about like the process of like people who wrote, like for example, like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and stuff, like there's very, like it's very in-depth and very like intentional. And then things with like Booktok, there are a lot of books out there that are clearly, you get lost in it because there's no, like you can tell that the author just sat down to write something to release it.
Yeah, I agree.
This is your idea. What are your thoughts on your
Well,
idea?
I kind of wanted to ask you guys, my prompt was Booktok and anti-intellectualism. Do you think that Booktok is contributing in some way to anti-intellectualism in our modern society?
Maybe.
Let's start with anti-intellectualism just in general. Like, what do you guys think about that?
I think it can be. I think it, like, I mean, there's the big attack on universities, public universities right now. Which, in all fairness, a lot of them are doing a really good job to fight back, and I think that's great.
I don't know. I think right now specifically, there's, very, very anti-AI for the fact that I think it is ruining a lot of like intellectual thinking. But then there's also like the issue of like we were just talking about this like new technology and like what it impacts it has. And for us and our generation, this is the major new technology that we're experiencing and having to deal with and navigate. And like, because Barrett said something about how one day, like you've never seen a car before, and one day a car shows up. Like, how do you deal with that? And like, that's kind of, I feel like, what we're experiencing with this new technology.
I think my problems with AI are that, I think that there's a lot of really, really great stuff that you could do with AI. I think it streamlines creative processes. And I think that there's a lot that AI can do to make stuff better and higher quality. I think the problem is that people aren't using it to do that. They're using it to take shortcuts, and they're using it to, make things just easier and less work for themselves. Whereas I think that if it's used to enhance as opposed to simplify, I think that it can be great.
I feel like this goes back to like, Wendellberries. Why I'm not gonna buy.
I am not going to buy a computer. I love Wendell Berry.
Okay, that's like, just say that, but why I'm not going to use AI? And there's a lot of reasons that he listed that you're kind of just talking about, like simplifying certain things and making like efficiency and whatnot. But like AI is our computer for like, if you take it, yeah. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I definitely think, we're talking about AI right now, and I do think it's a problem, not just for the way we think, but also the environment and the world in general. A lot of people are losing their jobs, especially a lot of jobs where you do have to think critically. So I feel like maybe we're approaching a future in which we're not going to even, how do I put this, think as hard as we used to because of AI. And that feels like a problem to me. Like AI is going to take our engineering jobs, they're going to take a lot of our computer, technology.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think was it you that brought up AI? That was a good point.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, because like, I don't know, there's just, there is like, there are benefits to like how it can like simplify certain things, but at the same time, like there gets to be a point where it's too simple for you. Like, and I think that's the same thing with like Wendell-Berry and like the computer. Like it made things a lot more efficient, but at the same time, I think there are things that we lost with like the development of the computer and the like. There's a lot of things that I think every time there's a new technology developed, I think there are things that we lose, and there are things that we gain, and it's just kind of like how that weighs.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the book talk thing, with AI too, I think like literature is different because of AI, and I think the best works of literature is when someone sits down to write something that they're true like passionate about. They have a goal in mind.
What the hell?
Oh, Lucas is in his truck.
When did he start
love
driving
that
a
flavor.
truck?
That's his dad's truck.
Okay. They're back.
And I think that there's a lot of stuff that like AI does that
Roll down your window. You just rolled down something. I don't know if that was to say something or
I think
not.
his AC
Okay.
doesn't work,
Oh. Okay.
if I remember correctly. But I think that there's a lot, like writing. AI is now, generating content and stories and stuff. And I think that the very best stories and the very best works of art and the very best anything is one person who sits down and does something because they're passionate about it, because they care about it, right? And I think when we start taking away that passion, that creativity, that drive, we lose a lot.
Yeah.
And that's part of why Booktok is, we have to sell things. That's what AI does. Like, it just, puts words on a paper.
Well, because, yeah, and AI is literally like what is the word? Accumulation of all the technology or like all the information that it is fed. It's like, that's what it is. And that means, yeah, there's no, obviously there's no individuality or like anything there or personality because it's, it's a program. And it's not, yeah, we lose these things that that make literature and art and movies and whatever what they are and what makes them so special. Like how this says, literally, like the best art is something that's like, or some people say like the best art is like a reflection of like who we are and it shows some sort of like inherent beauty or truth to it. Which I know that's like the beauty thing is different, but I think what is beautiful about certain things like literature and writing and movies and art and whatnot, like what's beautiful about it is that it is representative of people.
I mean, yeah, I also think that part of it's just like the interpretation. Like we can say, oh, this is a good book, but like The Great Gatsby is, I think it's one of the most famous books of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Every American high schooler, for the most part, has to read it because it's, discusses those like very common themes, but there's not a lot of room for like interpretation. It just is what the author was trying to communicate. Basically, every single reading of The Great Gatsby leads to the same, the same thing, same discussions. And I think that that's part of the challenge is that like, once you write the thing, it's up to an individual interpretation. I think the best pieces of writing are the ones that people have to, interpret themselves. Not like it's so incomprehensible that like you just don't understand what they're saying, but that like there's nuance.
Yeah. Well, I feel like our like own experiences and stuff are like a lot of who we are, and I think when we're able to like apply that kind of stuff to something like literature, that makes it inherently just better. Is that when you're able to imply what? You guys both looked at me and then looked at each other and then looked back at me. What just happened?
I caught him like side-eyeing me.
I was not
Yes, you
side-eyeing
were.
you.
No, you guys like literally just like looked at each other and I went back and forth and then you guys both did that. I don't know what just happened.
We can't do anything serious.
I know we're like
It's a problem with
Okay.
Eris and I.
I think that's like the best. Me and Eris were literally just talking about this. Like the best conversations are one where you can kind of have like a balance of both,
Yeah.
like intellectual
Yeah.
and humor. So, yeah.
Sorry. What's...
Anyways, I was just gonna. I don't even know something about. Oh, like our being able to apply our own experiences to something like a piece of media. I think makes it inherently better. And that's where it's like, that's where nuance comes. The more like, not the more that you can interpret, but like the right amount of like interpretation and nuance is what adds so much to something, because then you can apply your own experiences to it. Yeah. You have more thoughts? You want to give opinions about anything?
I think that's the problem with Booktok, Amelia, is that these books have no nuance. Fourth Wing is not deep.
Ah, yes.
It's not.
It's so.
They're not special. They're not. I genuinely feel stupid reading some of these
It's
books.
for the smart.
And you understand where the appeal comes from.
It is.
I mean, yeah.
That's why people
Yeah.
read them. Like I don't.
The Colleen Hoover.
Colleen.
God.
I've never read a Colleen Hoover book, and I intend to keep it that way.
Yeah, same. Me too. I refuse to touch that. The things I've heard have literally just been smut, but anyway.
Like I have no problems with it, but I don't think you can say it's a literary masterpiece.
Yeah.
If you want to read it, I don't care. Read whatever you want. I'm not gonna stop you. You know, but I don't think you can call it like on par with like, you know, the classics, which are deep and nuanced and have a layer of meaning to them. I think that's what makes a book a classic.
I know, like, the romance back in, like, what was it, the 40s when The Great Gatsby came out? Or was it the 20s?
Gatsby's
it's
written.
set in the
It's written about the
1920s.
20s. I think it's from the.
Yeah, I
40s.
think that's right.
I think so.
But it was
Yeah.
set in
Written
the 20s.
about
I don't know
20s,
what.
yeah.
And it was really popular back then, too, right? Like, that was the romance of the 40s. And now we just have fucking Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing and Akotar and
I read
all
Akotar.
of those
It's
books.
interesting. I think the other one by Sarah J. Maas, what's it called? Throne of Glass, is better.
I've heard that's pretty good.
I thought that was better.
That's pretty good.
Because I thought that it was actually, you know, there are like themes there that like are relevant and there's layer for interpretation. Whereas Akotar, I have the same problem. I think it's just, it's, you know.
You understand why people like it so much.
I mean, I don't personally, but I know what it is that people like about it.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
am not. I don't care. I mean, people can read whatever they want. I agree with you when they're saying, "Oh, like this is such a classic." No, it's not.
Oh, my favorite book, Fourth Wing.
Well, yeah, just because a book is popular doesn't automatically make it a classic and something that you should
It's also-
be able to
it
refer
also doesn't
back
make
to
it
at
good.
any time. No, yeah.
And once again, it's not like Fourth Wing is a bad book. It's just we talk so much about books that just aren't as deep or intellectual as they used to be, you know? And I feel like that's a problem.
Well, because like when a book becomes a classic, or like when a book becomes yeah, Western
Cross.
canon,
The
yeah,
Western versus Eastern canon.
yeah. There's
you don't have
something
cross.
in it that can be
I don't.
implied throughout. There, it's something that can be applied to anything, basically, or not. There's something inherent to it that's just relatable, or something that we can draw back on, and that can be continued throughout like time.
That makes me think of something that I have hardcore had to argue in English classes for years. I am a hater of requiring literary, like historical context to a thing. I think the best kinds of literature, the best pieces of work, are ones that can stand wholly on their own. I can pick this book up and I can read it without having to like read about the historical context of when it was written or read some other piece of obscure knowledge, like of some other thing to understand it. Just read it, and with the fundamental knowledge that I have as a human being who exists, be able to get something out of it and something meaningful.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely see that, because like when you're able to just again, that's what goes back to like experiences, being able to apply your experiences to something. That's what makes it like, I think, an inherently better piece of whatever. And like that, like if I should be able to like apply myself to something without having any prior knowledge, right?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes though you just need historical context to
I think that-
understand.
I think that all the really good books, without the historical context, you can still learn something from it.
Well, because I was telling you, I was talking to you about this, I think last time, about the book In Memoriam. It wasn't, because you said that this timeline, because it's set during World War One, that's like overused. But I was saying, that's not what was important to me about it. It's the storyline and being able to like apply yourself.
I
to
still feel
something
like the
else.
same storyline is overused, in my opinion.
But in that way, I feel like with the combination of all the elements of that book, I feel like it's not.
Of course, the combination of all the elements of a book are gonna make the book unique. Hopefully, you don't want to read the same book.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what
But
I'm
I
saying.
feel
I think
like
it makes it.
There's
unique
just some
enough
books
for
that
it to-
you hit the same plot points, and you get going, oh, I know what's gonna happen next. I know what's gonna happen next. I know what's gonna happen.
Issue with Booktok is that there's a lot of
Yes.
really similar plots.
I feel like I'm reading the same book over and over again, but the characters' names are different.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Yeah.
releases. Yeah.
I have problems with the way Booktok books are branded with cover imaging.
It's very, you can very clearly, if you walk down like a bookstore aisle, you can tell which ones come from like Booktok.
And that goes back to the artistry of literature. Nobody's designing their cover art originally anymore. They're trying to appeal to an audience.
Yes. And I know you're supposed to not judge a book by its cover, but
You do. It's so important to judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
I want my leather-bound tomes back. I love leather-bound books.
my parents have like
No.
They're so expensive.
we have like our part of our living room is basically just like a full library, and it's just it's a bunch of leather
Library.
library.
Thank you.
What, did I not say it like that?
You said library.
Whatever. Okay. And it's a bunch of like leather bound books. And to be fair, I haven't read a lot of those books, but there's something to it too that adds the physical book is the physical book is
We are intellectuals.
we are intellectuals.
Sometimes. My math teacher would dispute that fact.
You would.
I'm not bad at math. I just am not a good student.
Same.
Yeah, same. The comments I get on my math homework.
I still haven't turned in my annotated bibliography.
Oh yeah, I did that. But to be fair, I did 2 of mine were pictures, so
Oh, I should do that. Oh my god, that'd be so easy. Thanks,
Yeah.
Amelia.
I'm writing it on a.
We are
on
intellectuals.
2 of mine are books that I've already read.
I could do that. Too.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing it on aesthetics and cartography, so I got to annotate pictures of maps. So
Mine's the literary comparison between languages, so I'm citing Dune and
Wait.
also Niebla.
You're literally comparing languages?
Yeah, so how different
is
languages.
it English and
English? Well, it's English, Spanish, and philosophy.
So it's 3.
Yeah.
Yes, I speak philosophy.
Well, philosophy isn't the language. Philosophy is the lens that I'm looking at it through. So I'm looking at it. It's a comparison of how philosophical ideas and like complex ideas are communicated differently through different languages because of cultural evolutions of the language. So, because languages evolved, languages are inherently a reflection of our culture, right? For example, think about swear words in different languages. Some of the worst, like in Arabic, the worst things that you can say to a person is calling them an animal.
Yeah.
In English, they're all like sex related. In French, it's usually like poop
That's
jokes
interesting,
or
actually.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how that's a reflection of cultural practices. So looking at how different philosophical ideas, specifically existential, is communicated between different languages is what I'm looking at.
Are you going to talk about Latin at all?
I probably will have to.
You should
Probably
talk
should.
about French
So
and Little
what I'm
The Little Prince.
Existentialism.
I love the Little Prince, but the thing is, I don't know if I'm allowed to use it. But we'll have to figure out.
Oh, because it's like kids.
Well, no, because I've already had to write an essay about it.
Oh, that's right.
I already had to write a assignment on it. But no,
That's why I'm
so
not doing my
specifically,
equals.
I'm looking at So Dune by Frank Herbert.
I don't like Dune. I could not get into
It's
it.
just
I personally really like Dune. I really like the first one, the second one. I'm reading the third one right now. But looking at the themes of like predestination, that kind of things, like self-determination, that kind of stuff. And then I'm also comparing it to a book called Niebla by a guy named Miguel de Unamuno, who is a Spanish existentialist writer. And this book is in which the main character of the book goes and speaks to the author himself and has a conversation with the author, in which the author reveals to him that he is not real, and he is a character created, and therefore has no ability to for self-determination, and it's all judged as to what the author wants. And then he has like kind of a mental crisis about that.
wait, that's really interesting.
It's in Spanish if you want to read it.
Oh, I don't know Spanish, so. But maybe there's a translated version.
There
I'm sure there
probably
is.
I'm sure there is somewhere. But
Yeah.
I read it in Spanish. Yeah, that's what I think. Those books, those two, I think, have like an intentionality to it. The Booktok books don't.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, they're